Hi folks, well I can't tell on that little on the little 1 1/8 inch screen on that camera if you can actually see what I'm doing here, but I'm going to show it anyway. This stick has got a magnet out of a computer hard drive. A very powerful neodymium magnet. I use it for picking up stuff on the floor when I can't reach it. I also use it for other things. Now I'm putting a plastic baggie inside out over it. I didn't have any smaller ones, so I used this one. And I'm going in here to the swarf, the chips. Whoops, I caught something that looks like I want to save it. Brush. But I'm grabbing chips with a magnet. I mean a magnet. I keep telling everybody I have a magnetic personality. It's animal magnetism. Anyway, I'll stop the corny stuff. This is an instructional, informational video. Alright, I'm getting swarf, picking it up. I'm doing this way because it just happens to be the quickest. And I don't like spending a lot of time doing projects that are not fun or productive in my estimation. So, I like to try to do things quick and picking up swarf. Now, if I wanted to, reverse the bag, pull it off, and all the swarf is in a bag ready for, all the swarf is in a bag ready for perfect disposal. It's always good to put a plastic over the magnet because when I don't, I'm constantly trying to get little fuzzy pieces of steel off of it that are stuck to it. Now, chips are the thing that I hate the most about machining. I don't like them. As opposed to sawdust, working with wood, I actually like sawdust. I like the smell of it. It's useful for a lot of things, and I just enjoy it. So I don't have the same disdain for sawdust. I don't work with wood that much, but when I do, I save the sawdust. I used to save it for soaking up oil and things, but I save it now for mostly, I use it as a flux when I melt lead for casting bullets. Okay, so I got that swarf mostly out of there. The stick is clean. I hang that back up in my magnetic stick holder place. And that operation is finished. Now, I'm going to bring you over here and show you a different operation that I'm currently working on. What I want to do is, I started this here, I don't know if you can see it, but I started using my lathe for a milling machine. And I've got a whole bunch of end mills that I've used for other purposes. These guys are real cheap. This is a cheap end mill from China. It's probably not very good, but it works. I think I pay like $2 a piece for these things. They're amazingly cheap. So anyway, this is a 5/16, and I need to make 5/16 slots in the middle of two of these things, steel blocks. These are going to be mold. This is going to be a mold. These are blocks to make a mold, and it's going to have 4 small mold cavities for 22 long rifle bullets. Believe it or not, this is big enough for 4 mold cavities. So, to put the handles on there, I want to put a groove in it that'll accept this set of mold handles that you buy, the mold handles. And when I put a 3/16 groove in there, these handles will go closer together and will hold in that little track. And then I'm going to put another reinforcement bar on there so I can use those pins to hold it on. So I want, instead of just carving a slot in there with a Dremel, which is what I would normally do, I thought, well, I want to try to learn how to use my machine as an end mill anyway. And I thought this would be a very good project to start trying it, because it's not really that critical. It doesn't even matter that much if it's perfectly in the middle, as long as both of them are in the same place. Now, I started cutting that. As you can see, there's cuts on it. I had this on here, the way it goes, the normal way this goes. Are you seeing that? Yes. See, this goes on here. This is the normal way. And I had these simply mounted on here with a bolt for the tool post and some metal plate shims held at the right level. I want to give you a better view of that. It was held at the right level there. And that way I could use the controls for in and out and back and forth to cut that slot. But the problem was this cross slide doesn't go far enough. It only goes a little ways in because of where this is mounted. Oops, I gotta move that back some more. Because this is mounted on the front of the cross slide, it doesn't go far enough that way. So I thought, well, I tried all different ideas for mounting that differently, and the one I came up with is, I just have to do it. I have to make 2 more mounting holes. Now, they don't have to be on a pivot like this guy. They can be just straight and square, but they have to be absolutely straight and square. This has got to be perfectly square with the cross slide, and those holes have to be drilled perfectly and tapped. So once I drill and tap those holes, I will be able to put stuff on this cross slide. Actually, I'm going to have to mount it up about there. About there. So I have the full range for mounting stuff on there and being able to manipulate it with the what do you call this whole unit here? I forget what you call that. Anyway, with both X and Y. And as far as the other dimension, I don't know if that's a Z-axis or what, that I can accomplish just with shims. It will be a hassle when I have to cut multiple passes for different sizes. I'll have to pull it out and re-shim it. But for now, that'll work. I'm eventually going to make a homemade milling conversion with what do they call those brackets that you buy? You can buy brackets that are perfectly square. They're like pieces of angle iron, only they're cast and squared. And I could mount them on here, and then you have a perfect face. And then you can mount a very small machine vise. And I'll probably have to make a little tiny machine vise for this somehow to accommodate that. But those are my projects. One of the things that dismays me is every time I do something new, like wanting to mount this in a different place, I could do it right on the machine, but that would be stupid with hand tools. So I have to take everything off again. I could just pull this off. You know, that can come off. But what do you call this thing? Saddle. I've got some nylon bearing strips in there. I guess they're nylon, something like that. And it's tight, but there's give, there's play, and that's I can't have that. So I have to pull the whole thing apart again, take the whole thing apart, pull off the saddle again, and reinvent the gibs somehow. Modify those gibs so there's no play in there. And I'm tired of taking it apart. I've taken this thing apart probably 5, 6, 7 times already, and I'm getting tired of it. You know, they say, well, it's all learning, but I got things to do. Anyway, so much complaining. There's my video. Thanks.